Hi there, pen friends. It's me, Kelly, and I just wanted to share with you all some things that I have been making and using for my fountain pens, stationery, and journaling. So, all of these things were crafted by me out of quilting cotton and batting in my cozy room. And so, a little dream that I have is that one day I will make a whole line of these and they will have my little logo on them and I'll be able to go and tour around and sell my delightful wares at pen shows or wherever, I guess, and meet more people who love things like this who are like me. Anyway, let me show you what I made, and I would really love if you have any comments or feedback or things that you like or didn't like about what I'm doing that you'd like to share. And maybe also if this is something that you would like, or if there was just a little tweak, you would like it better. I'd love to hear that. But anyway, so I'm going to leave this guy to the last, this gal to the last, because this took me an entire day, this whole little system here. Um, let's start out with this set because this is kind of the fabric that started it all. This is a Tula Pink fabric. I have been carrying around this little pen roll for the last 6 months. I whipped this guy up, and originally what I wanted it to be was for um, pocket pens. I have all these pens in here. So I think this is the M200 Pelican. It's the littlest Pelican. And what I wanted it to be for, hold on, let me grab a whole bunch. What I wanted to design initially was a pen roll for pocket pens. And so, as you see, it's just a little petite pen roll for pocket pens. And when I sewed the little sleeves for the pens, I left one to be a little bit more chunky in case you had some TWSBI Pixies, which of course I do, or some Banu Pixies, which of course I do. So see how our more chunky friend, she fits in there. And then if you stuff them all down in there good, if you wanted to, you could fold this over and then wrap it up if it's going to be rambling around in your tote bag. And then it has this little guy, and I used to only have these metal snaps, as you can see. My husband didn't like these because he thinks that it snaps too tight. I do have a different kind of snap that I'm using now. I can show you guys in a little bit. But then you just have this little delightful log of like a tree log, Swiss cake roll, maybe. Delightful roll of little pocket pens, and you could take those all around with you. But then as I was using it, sometimes I do just put a whole bunch of pocket pens in there. Oh wait, this one wasn't there. She can stay there. These all have to get put back. But TWSBIs also fit in there. TWSBI Ecos also fit. So this is my little delightful collection of TWSBI Ecos that have been coming around the house with me in my tote bags. Oh, whoops. One more. So this was the first one. This is what started it. And then I wanted to design some kind of tall tote bag with a zipper top for Tombow markers. And if you have the complete set, if you take them all out of the case that they come from, this is big enough to hold them all. And it's tall enough. And actually, I think I would make some changes with this. The way I put the zipper in, I want the opening to be just a little bit bigger. So I would actually maybe have a little bit bigger zipper and maybe a deeper gusset on the bottom so that it could stand up totally when they're all in there. But if you leave it lay flat, which is often what I do, I'll put all my markers in there, and the color tops then can stick out, and you can kind of just peek in if you're out and about sketching and grab the color that you want. And I just love this fabric. I don't know if I already said this, but this is by Tula Pink. I think this one is by Tula Pink as well, that we'll get to later. I really love her really eye-popping colors. Although I would be happy to make things for people out of whatever fabric they like. I just enjoy sewing. Anyway, okay, so that's that set. And I think actually I'm going to use some of these for my DC trip that's coming up. Oh, oops. I have a wayward pen. Hold on. Hold, please. Little Miss Fluorite, she needs to get put away here. She's got to go back in her stable. Okay. So that's one set that I made. And then this week, I made this really tall stationery pouch with a zipper. And I had ordered little logos, labels, and I've been trying to figure out how to sew these labels on. And so this one I did this way, so it's just sort of sticking out. And I'm gonna, let's zoom. This is going to be my pen roll company name, Scribe Stuff. And in Middle Egyptian, it says things of a scribe. And the things, this is things, and this is basically a determinative, but it's, or is it a bilateral? I don't know. But this, along with some other hieroglyphs, which were optional, can be optional. Some scribes put them on and some scribes put them off, meant the word scribe. Like, for example, I could put the little man determinative there to say that it's like a person rather than writing or paper or something like that. Anyway, TLDR, this says Hetsesh Scribe Stuff. And that's my little logo. I'm super excited about it. Oop. And so I want to make these big chunky pouches that you can then stuff full of delightful things, like if you have one of this, the A6 size Hobonichi actually fits in here pretty nicely. And you can fit a pen roll in there. Actually, I made this pen roll for it, but here's one with pens. And you can put stickers and your Ivy printer. Where is my Ivy printer? Oh. If you have an Ivy printer, you could put that in there. Oh my God, I should make zipper pouches for your Ivy printer and its cable. But cute little totes that just are made out of cotton, and these are going to be hand washable, and then you can just press them on a towel and leave them out to dry, and they'll dry. So something that's actually reusable and washable. But so I have a ton of zippers to make all different types of these little totes. And I'm going to change how the logo is going on there though. Okay, let me unstuff this guy. I have some ideas of how to make this a little bit more fun. Maybe I'll work on that too. One of my ideas was to put 2 little grommets and then a little loop of elastic so you could clip your journal charms there too. Just another place or outlet for all of your little charms you've been collecting, if you're like me. And then I love this pen roll so much. It's so cute. I really like the pointy end. It's a little bit more difficult to sew. And I did it a little bit better on the next thing I'm going to show you guys. But these are the snaps I found. They're just a little plastic snap. They're easy to put on. They seem strong enough, but not too strong, so that if you don't have a lot of hand strength, it's like, you know what I mean? You can see how people might not like that. But again, this is just one for little mini pocket pens. But it does fit all different sizes of pen. And then this time, I sewed the logo on like this. And this is I showed my husband, this is the type that he likes the best. It's just top stitched after I turn the whole packet from inside out to right side out after I top stitch the whole thing. So it's that. It's just so cute. I just love it. And again, these are it's just like washable. So if you have an ink accident, you can, I mean, the ink probably isn't going to come out all the way, but you can wash the ink out to a point where, you know, if the ink is still on there and then it gets wet again, then it's spreading even more. You can at least wash most of it out, which is nice. Okay, and then this is the queen of them all. This is a journal. But for your pens, your markers, ephemera, etc., and then a little journal. And I'm still working on the design of this. This took me all day yesterday, kind of knocking this out and figuring out how to do it. It has this cute little snap tab closure. I love that. And then this is just quilted with a batting, so it's a soft cover. The first page is a pen roll that's just flat. And so it snaps in, and I have two different pen rolls. So I have two snaps there, but it holds, this size holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pens. And I sewed these a little bit tighter so that it's just sort of thinner pens. And then I just have one chunky pocket for chunky pens. So like if you had this gorgeous girl, she could fit in there. And if you put the right size pen in the sleeve, they don't come flying out. But also because this is here and then you would close this, they stay put. And my husband was swinging this thing all around with all these like really expensive pens in it, and they were not falling out. So that was pretty cool. Okay, so that's page 1. But you could either, if you're out journaling, so say you're out journaling and you want your pens out so that you can see them all the time, you could then take this out and set this on the table next to you and push all of your pens up, and then you could access whichever one you want to write with at the moment. Okay, anyway, so page 2 is a little zipper pouch, and she's just attached in there with snaps, and you could unsnap her. And what I wanted to show is how many markers I put in here. So this is actually set up pretty much how I'm going to take it to DC Pen Show. I put this many markers in it. That's a lot of markers. And these are just for drawing and sketching and journaling and stuff. It's my collection of customizable brush pens, and then these sign pens and some Tech brush pens, which I absolutely love. Okay, I'm going to shove this all back in here. But this is the size that fits in there. Tombos don't fit in here, which is kind of a bummer. Maybe I'll make a Tombow size too. Then you could hold more pens because the whole size would be bigger. I don't know. Another thing I'm considering is making these without the snaps, but I think the snaps give it this extra functionality, because if you wanted to leave this in your bag, you want to leave your pens in your bag, you could leave your pens in your bag and you could just pull out the pouch and use it, or whatever, you know, any arrangement of that. And then the last one is just, I did this so that you could keep like a slim journal. Now, if I make these lengthwise this way, you know, like when you have your Louise Carmen or your Paper Republic and you really chunk it up, what's limiting you is the total length of the object. So if I actually make it maybe like 1 inch or 2 inches wider total, you could put an actual real full-size A5 journal. I just have this little Rhodia insert. I really like this paper. These are some of my favorite ones. But I thought this one really coordinated well, and this has all my sketches of ideas for sewing projects in it. And so I want to take this with me, obviously, on my trip so that I can work on sketching out ideas on the plane. And then how I fix this is just this little strap of elastic with snaps. And so that can either stay in there or come out. I'm not sure about this design. I'm still considering other options for this. But what's fun is that with the right size elastic or thing to affix, I could put, this is Odyssey Notebooks notebook. This is my daily pages. Hold on, let me put this all back together. Okay, I have it all put back together. So page 1, pens, page 2, pocket with whatever you want in there, and then page 3, journal. But if I make it just a little bit chunkier, I could fit, see how it needs more total length to close, but you could have this whole little delightful fabric sandwich of all of your major journaling items conveniently accessible to you. And what's great about this style, and I was trying this in my tote bags that I just carry around like place to place, is that this is washable. So if it gets a little bit dirty or you spill coffee on it, You could just hand wash it in the sink, or you could even throw it in with light colors in a cool temp wash, and then just lay it out on a towel to dry. So this is something that's durable and washable and will kind of like age how cotton ages, which I find really satisfying. But again, then you can just throw this in your tote bag. Your expensive pen cases aren't gonna get dirty, and you've got this in here, and you've got your journal. So you could have a whole journaling system just like this, and then just toss it in your tote bag. Let me show you guys that. So this is it in my tote bag with the more jumbo book in it. But because your pens are going to be sideways if you stand it up, it also does stand up pretty well. Let me switch back to my normal size journal. Okay, so with a normal size journal, in my tote, this is a Land's End tote, by the way. I can just take her and set her in there. And then, oh, let's see, let's put our Moomin tote. I could put my sketching Moomin tote over here. So I could have, like, this could have all my journaling ephemera, and then this could have all my sketching. This is how I was considering using this for myself. But then, where's my purse tote? I can just stick my purse tote, toss that in there, and see, and then I just carry all of this around, and all of my very precious journals and markers and things are all there. If I want to just, now I'm at the coffee shop, I pull this out, I can just open this up. It's all protected. I can easily slip my journal out, or just pop the tabs off. I can just pop her out, and I can then, open up my journal, and I have my whole like brush markers and pens station set up. I don't know. I feel like I'm not making sense, but that's what it is. So it's like a journal full of journaling stuff. Does that make sense? And so then, see this? Then you just snap this back in. I thought maybe Velcro would work better, but Velcro is messy to sew on, and it makes a noise that some people don't really like. I don't know. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts, comments, ideas, criticisms. How that snaps, that's kind of a little bit difficult too, but it does hold really well, and it's just this cute little chunky, looks like that. Yeah, I love it. I've been having so much fun making these things. I can make my pen rolls. These pen rolls, I do have a few that I've made in full size. Oh, I can show you one actually. Some of them have gone on to new homes, so I can't show those, but I'm just gonna pause and grab my one full-size one I have left. You'll have to forgive the cat and dog hair on it because I do have pets, as you all know. This is what a full-size one looks like. It's just a simple pen roll, but I can make them out of rewashable fabrics and as thick a batting as I want. You just roll them up and go like that. Give it a snap. And because there's no pens in it, it looks like the strap is too big. But what's fun about the batting, using quilter's batting, is that once you stick the pens in there, by friction, they don't come out. I mean, little tiny skinny pens, yes, they would, but then that's why I made this one with smaller pouch openings, so that pocket pens can go in there, chunkier pens can go in there, and then you can just toss them in your tote bag and off you go. And if they get dirty or you spill something on them, then they're washable. So how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is nine pens. And I have this one in a set pattern. I've made several of these now and just sold them. But I can do metal snaps, or I can do the plastic snap in a color coordinating color. All right, you guys, so those are my pen and stationery projects that I'm doing in my crafting room. I just love them. I'm so enjoying it, and I'm really hoping that people will like them and that I can start a little business called Scribe Stuff. and make stuff for all of us modern scribes. There you go. Have a great day, friends.